To do that. What a segue, huh? Let's fucking tell us about this beer that we had.
All right, man. You know, I feel like we should get some Redman playing while we do this shit.
Oh, baby. I can't fucking wait.
You know what? Get some docs in there. Get our beat that going, bro. All right. So, shout out to Devin and Eric, man, once again. They hooked us up with the Red G Noble Red Ale.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a hoppy red with Magnum and Warrior hops. I'm excited to try this. A red ale is pretty good for the wintertime. Like that's usually like around like a St. Patty's Day kind of style. Like this is gonna be, it's gonna be good, man. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I cannot fucking wait.
I'm really happy. Yeah, and and one thing about Arctic Circle too. I just want to say, man, like I feel like this is gonna be a beautiful thing just because they follow our values when it comes to like beer and music together and stuff like that. So it's like I couldn't pick a perfect place to work with.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I'm really happy about this too, and I'm excited to try this beer. I'm excited to try a bunch of their beers throughout the course of the next few weeks.
And then we got the live event going with them too, man, in March. So it'll be good.
And while we pour up a little sip of this, let's just give you a little bit of Redman since we're drinking this beer. Which is a little I'll allude you to what I'm doing in something old later on. Ooh. God damn it, I love Redman so much.
Bang, 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 bang.
Wow. This is interesting.
It's just like a dude, he just has fun, like just has fun rapping, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I love that about him.
And he's really good at it.
Yes. And he has like the best episode of Cribs ever.
Oh, dude, it's so, you know he still lives there.
Yes,
he still has that.
I heard
about
spot.
That. He's like, yeah, I bought nicer spots for my kids and shit, but I still like it here, so that's where I live.
I love it. Just keep it true to yourself.
he's like nobody bothers me because I've been there for so long that I'm not a celebrity to these people that live on my block. Everyone just knows me as Red. They just know me. So I thought that was pretty funny. But dude, this is an interesting ass beer that we got here. Let me get this one more sip.
It's got like some floral notes to it.
You said
it's definitely like some caramel. It's a red ale. So
it almost feels like a red ale mixed with a stout kind of.
It's weird. It kind of like almost
a little ASMR for you.
Yeah. Like the YouTube crowd just gonna see what I just did there. No, man. So it's kind of almost like fruit, like up front for a minute, and then it kind of goes like into like these like caramel notes, but it's like very like earthy and floral. Like this is it's really solid.
It says it's a hoppy red ale with Magnum and Warrior hops.
Yeah, that's more of like earthier hops, not like fruity.
And we got 6.3 alcohol percentage.
6.3 ABV. I don't have IBUs for you. You know you guys can follow us on Untappd too at untappd.com/beatsandbrewspod.
That's another cool thing about Arctic Circle Brewing Company too is they have these nice growlers that you can get up in there, and so you can whatever because they change beers pretty regularly, so you can go up and get whatever favorite one you like and
the
bring
tap
it
room
home.
is dope too, man.
It's really dope, dude. I'm really like happy for him. Like he was telling me that it was quite the process of getting that shit opened, and it's a pretty big space too for a brewery.
Yeah, I don't think when Devin was here, we didn't even mention like how they got the startup cost because he sold his the Yeezy Red Octobers.
Dude, that's a funny story.
I love that shit.
That's awesome.
I love that. The spirit of a hustler, man.
That's really tight. And I didn't know what did you say the final price was on those ones you looked up? Wasn't it like 18
it was like 18
or something
grand
like that?
for the Yeezy Red Octobers. Yeah,
Shit,
that was last time I checked.
Crazy, man. Oh, that's so nuts.
They had them on Walmart for like 15.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Sneakerheads are nuts, though. Like, it's fucking such a whole different culture.
It's a market. It's such a racket.
I would really like to have Mirage back on and have her
just
talk
do like
just
a
about
episode?
sneakers. Yeah, for sure, because she's really into that. Shout out to Mirage. She was there last night, too. Did you say
Mirage
that?
Yeah, her and then I forgot the other violinist's name, but she killed it, too.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, I really want to check that place out. Shout out Willis. Shout out Arctic Circle.
And Kevin, by the way, who was the lead singer, Kevin Christensen.
That's cool. Boy. I think she was talking about him quite a bit on the episode that she was on with us, wasn't she? And I think they had a song together that we played, right?
I got to holler at him for a little bit after the first set. We didn't get to stay for the second one, unfortunately, but yeah, he killed it, man. He was doing all the vocals and shit. Like he definitely made it his own.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in a way he didn't like stick to like the JT script. He definitely like put a little sauce on it.
Put a little sauce on it, gave it a little fucking little a little facelift, I guess you should say.
Yeah, little makeover.
Yeah, a little makeover. Dude, I bet that sounded really dope because Justin Timberlake's music like has the potential to be like really jammed out by like a big band. You know what I mean? Like some of those songs do at least. And I gotta say, out of all like the like former boy band guys, I never had a problem with Justin Timberlake. I always liked his music and shit. Like it always was pretty good. Except for that Man of the Woods album, that was not very good.
No, Justify was still my shit.
Justify was the shit. Future, what was it?
Future Sex Love Sounds.
That was a
shit.
good one. The first 2020 Experience album was good. The second one was not very good.
I think the one with Suit and Tie on it.
Wait, which one was the good one? I can't remember which one was the good one now. It's either part 1 or part 2.
They got 2. I just realized they got 2. Him and Hov got 2 songs together. He got that. They got that Magna Carta Holy Grail.
I never
shit.
liked either of those. Actually,
like
the one on
video
Magna
was dope.
The one on Magna Carta is better than the one that's on the 2020 Experience. I never liked that Suit and Tie shit.
I
remember when Kanye said that on
stage? I didn't
stage?
like that song when it came out, and I still really don't like that song. I do like what they did with it last night, though.
Dude, I think that's what started the like tension between Jay-Z and Kanye, wasn't it? Because remember on when what album was Kanye touring when he was doing the floating stage design?
St. Pablo tour.
Yeah, St. Pablo. He was like, remember when he was on stage? He was like, "I love you, Jay, but I ain't fucking with that suit and tie shit."
And then that's when, like, I think that's when Kid Cudi was in rehab and shit. And he was talking about like, that's like one of the greatest artists of like our generation and shit. You know, did I tell you I actually bought a ticket to that tour and didn't go?
You did?
I did not.
That would have been.
I bought a ticket.
Why didn't you
go? One, I think my car broke down like that day. One, and I couldn't get a ride. And two, I think I had a final the next day or some shit. So I just said fuck it. And this was like, what year was that? Like 2015, 2016, something like that. So yeah.
Dude, one time I went to a fucking. So luckily I'd already seen J. Cole before, so it wasn't like I missed him. The only opportunity I ever to see him. But I won't say the friend's name because I don't want to, I had a friend that at the time was in trouble with the law. So he had to be home. Like he had like a tether machine thing that he had to be home by a certain time every night. So he had to be home by 11 p.m. We were going to go see J. Cole at the Royal Oak Music Theater that night. And the show started at 7. So we thought we'd be fine, right? There was so many opening acts that by the time J. Cole was about to come on stage, we had to fucking leave so this person could get home. I was
that's
like,
the worst.
Ah!
You know what?
I was so mad.
You know that is my biggest pet peeve in the world is like the overloaded like show local artists.
Dude,
I get it. I get the exposure. I just hate the overloaded bills so much.
It is terrible, dude. When there's four opening acts, that's too much, man.
One of my favorite memories. It's probably one of my. It wasn't necessarily like a big crowd for it, but circa 2014, I had a chance. Actually, I played St. Andrews Hall for the first time, and Bodie James was supposed to headline that.
Really?
Show. Yeah,
that's sick.
Joe Commission put it together.
Oh, that's tight. Shout out Troy Raps. Shout out Joe.
Yeah, it was like this chick named B Coop. I don't know if she's still doing music, but she was like the first opener, and I was after her. And then I got on. It was like maybe like 10 people in the crowd, and then I heard like backstage, yeah, Bodie's not showing up. I'm like, fuck.
Shout out to Boldy and Alchemist, by the way. Yeah. That album's growing on me more and more and more every time I fucking listen to it. He's just like a really, really talented storyteller. Yeah.
Or was it Bo Jackson? Super Techno Bowl.
Super Techno Bowl.
Both of those albums are great, but yeah.
And then he did Alchemist also has out like he did like a weird like short movie score that you can check out on YouTube. That's pretty cool.
Is he going on that tour with Action Bronson and Earl and Bodie? Okay, that's what I thought.
I have a feeling it's kind of going to be like a revolving door. That's kind of how I envision it. It's going to be like, I think that Alchemist will be out there the whole time, and then those guys will just like, he'll be the DJ, right? And then like, the guys will kind of just come out and perform their songs.
That would make sense.
That's it seems like that would be the right way to do it. But yeah, let's get into something old, something new, because I have a lot of music since we were off for a week. There is a lot to cover.
I got a song. Oh, yeah. You want to start off this week with something old?
Yep. Let me just pull it up real quick. Redman, which we were actually just playing some from the fucking album that I'm in my something old, so it worked out really well. I actually went back to 1998 to Redman's Docs the Name 2000.
Whew. That was a great. We just played a little bit of it.
We just played a little bit of it. And that was actually, you know what's funny? It's not his first album. It's actually like his third or fourth album. But that was my introduction to Redman because 98, 99 is the time that I started getting into hip hop. Well, I think like 97 is like or 96 is when I first heard Biggie. And so I started listening to like Bad Boy stuff around then. But like 97, 98, 99, that's when I was in like middle school. And, I was watching The Box every day after school. And that was one of the videos they used to play on the box all the time was Redman's I Beat At. That video is fucking hilarious, by the way, if you've never seen it.
Did you see his, like, the most recent thing? Or not most recent, I guess. It was a couple years ago, but that Smack the Shit Out You song?
Yeah, that was
I
fucking...
love that shit.
Dude,
Redman
he's
is
so great at
hilarious.
that. Yep.
Yep.
I was actually... That's a point I wanted to bring up. And I think this is my issue with Wiz Khalifa sometimes. Like, Wiz Khalifa... So there's weed rappers, and then there's weed rappers like Redman, who, like... He's that, but he's also so skilled as an MC, and he's such a great storyteller. And he doesn't make just interchangeable songs with weed references all the time, and like Wiz does. I feel like Wiz needs to sit down and write some shit. I know he brags about like going off the top of his head all the time, but man, I'd like to hear like because Wiz has the ability. You know what I mean? Like we've all heard like Kush and Orange Juice and like his older mixtapes.
You know, I actually just listened to Taylor Alderdice like, a couple days ago for the first time in a while. That was the one right after Black and like what was it, Rolling Papers?
Yeah.
I think it was out that album that like sent him up to the fucking moon. But yeah, the one after that, like that mixtape. I was thinking about like Amber Ice and stuff like that. You had like Rob Markman like narrating the album, like the mixtape and stuff like that. Like, dude, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wiz was so. I mean, he still is good, but he's not like as. I don't think he's as hungry as he was.
Yeah, he definitely is.
I mean,
he's super rich.
I mean, dude, super rich. He's got a kid now.
Yeah,
like I
for
get
sure.
it. Like,
But I digress. Back to Redman's Docs the Name 2000. This album for me is just awesome, dude. I feel like Redman really brought in that funky side of hip hop where you hear a lot of, I mean, Outkast did too, but a lot of like George Clinton influence into it and just really cool production. And, I really enjoy this album. And there's so many like quotable parts and songs that you want to rewind. But yeah, I really loved it. And you know what else I was thinking about when I was listening to it? I was thinking, I bet Ludacris had to have been really influenced by Redman.
Ludacris?
Yeah, because you know what I mean?
I
Like,
can see
Ludacris was also, like, very funny in the stuff that he would rap about, in the videos he would make. It was kind of reminiscent of what Redman was doing a little bit, like, before Ludacris popped off. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, I bet you Ludacris was messing with Redman pretty heavy back then. But yeah, his clarity on these records is really awesome. And I fucking love it. I'm gonna just play a little bit of it for you so you can hear it. Here is a song called "I Don't Care," which you're gonna realize why Redman's so awesome. Ooh. Yo, he's so good, man. Redman just like, man, I think about this a lot now, man. Like, and I know it's probably, I think it comes with getting older. You just want to bitch about the younger shit. It's just like, there's something pre-programmed in us that makes us want to do that.
I mean, like but our parents and our parents beforehand. Yeah, I mean, it's just, natural.
They did just release this article, and I saw a lot of musicians posting it that I thought was interesting. And they said that older music on streaming is outdoing all of the new shit. Like they said that older music accounts for 70% of what's being streamed currently.
Right.
Yeah. So I think like people still, and like the article that was posted about it, like kind of goes into why we have such an affinity for music from the eras of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Specifically, those three generations they said are like the most listened to. and streamed out of all the shit. So that makes sense to me because there was a lot of great music in those eras.
I just thought about something like 90s R&B is definitely used and heavily sampled and stuff like that. 90s pop though is not really so much. It always
No,
like
not
80s
really.
shit.
Yeah, it probably will be eventually. You'll start to hear that
Like,
shit
it starts
leak into
getting,
the
like-
fucking hip hop, and you're starting to see it.
Like a lot of hip hop stuff,
Yeah.
like from like early 2000s, are getting remixed. Like the Freak a Leak one. There's a couple out there. What was the Mary J. Blige? Not the Mary J. Blige song. The Mariah Carey song that like got remixed.
Oh
as
yeah,
popular
that Big
now.
Lotto shit. Yeah. They were talking about that on Ebro in the morning. How Ebro was like, I fucking hate this song. He's like, first of all, it's not Fantasy by Mariah Carey, so why would you use that sample when you know you're not gonna outdo that
the
song?
Nuck If You Buck got remixed. Like,
Yeah, for sure. And then like we were talking about a few weeks ago, the Mos Def Miss Fat Booty and the JID song, which they also brought up on Ebro, and I know he fucking saw my tweet. Didn't give me no credit. but yeah, Redman, one of my favorite rappers. His very first album, What the Album from 1992, is one of the albums that like when I was around 19 years old just really made me fall in love with hip hop a lot because it's just so funky and it's like the production is so crazy on it. But yeah, Doc's the name. It must have been recorded like 99, 2000. It says it came out in 98. But there's a lot of references to like 99 and like the turning of the century and like the year 2000 and shit. So yeah, it must have came out in like the end of 1998, I would assume. And that's probably got, I bet you that had his most commercial success because that's when I started seeing like his videos and stuff and shit like that. And then you started seeing him pop around like the Wu-Tang guys and Method Man. Method Man's actually on the album. I think it might be one of their earliest. No, they've been doing shit before that. They had. But yeah, that was my something old. Let me kick it over to E.
all right, my something old is Tech Nine. No, I'm bullshit. That's just gonna be a running joke going forward. If I can't think of some actual something old, I'll just automatically default to Tech Nine going forward.
He does have a lot of albums to choose from.
He does. He puts out an album every year. Probably, arguably, might be one of the most consistent. Him and Currency. But
speaking of which, we need to have a Papoose segment coming up on the podcast because what he did this year is crazy.
Yeah, one album every month.
But I digress. Go ahead, sir.
So I actually went older. I went to 1969.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I don't go that old.
In the
often.
crates, baby.
Yeah, man. So watching Summer of Soul for the first time really
Yes.
made me like go back and like listen to a lot of this shit, like just stuff from that era, like Sly and the Family Stone, and then we were talking about Stevie Wonder's performance earlier. I actually never knew who Fifth Dimension was up until this, and I hate to admit that, but yeah, man, it was just crazy, like just listening to, because they have this whole thing where they weren't what to be considered traditional black music.
Yeah.
And they kind of got alienated by black people because of that. So I guess this also ties into Tech Nine.
And it's Aquarius season, right?
So, yeah.
And Aquarius season? Oh my God, how many full circle moments can we have?
Right? But no, man, I went with the Age of Aquarius album from them. And it's just from start to finish, like the actual production on it for that time is so crazy.
Aquarius.
It's like so operatic and I mean, I always go. You guys might know now. We're 111 episodes in. I'm a big concept guy.
Hell yes.
And obviously, shit like that, like operatic sounding stuff like that, just always gets me, and it always drew me in. And I really enjoyed this album straight through. Came out May 1969. Obviously, the Age of Aquarius, and it was like the let the sun shine. Fuck, I'm tripping. Hold up. That beer got to me.
Aquarius.
The sunshine.
Yep.
There you go.
Let the sunshine. Oh, that's a good one. Is that what?
I don't want to go with that song just because.
Yeah, let's play something different.
Popular. Go with. Let's go with. Don't You Hear Me Calling?
Don't You Hear Me Calling? Here we are. Here's a little bit of Don't You Hear Me Calling out of the Fifth Dimension of the Age of Aquarius. Oh, shit. My bad.
Whoops.
Woo!
So dope.
It's the kind of shit that's hard to turn off.
It is, man.
We've had some goddamn good music being played on this episode. I mean, every episode we have good
Come on
music
now.
on, but
Kind of what we
you
do.
know what it is.
It makes it easy though when it's tough to play.
Yes, it is. All right, and then now on to something new, man. There was quite a bit. There was some stuff that. So as we've been kind of talking about over the last few, like the stuff that we haven't had enough time to sit with, we're gonna kind of get time with it. So there was one album in that vein that I listened to this week that I've only gotten around to the once, but I know I'm going to talk about it next week because I loved my first listen, and that was Amber Mark. So I will talk about her next week. But I think one that E-Man, there's a few on here that E-Man and I definitely both listened to. I guess so we could probably kick it off with the FKA Twigs album, Caprisongs.
Did we talk about that one already, or no?
No, we never got around to
didn't fully
talking it
analyze
yet.
it yet.
No, we never, because we decided to push that in the Cordae album.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
All right, let me get that.
So that FKA Twigs, man, she it's kind of interesting that you were mentioning operatic style music.
Yep.
Because she
Totally.
like her stuff is very, when you're listening to it, you're almost envisioning what the performance is going to be like. It's very performative. You know what I mean? Like you could see her like doing the dances and the choreographs to it. Like that's definitely the artist that FKA Twigs is. She's also a dancer and an actor. So she's very artistically driven, I guess you would say. And I really enjoyed this album. It's got a lot of really cool shit
Like
on
I
here.
love artsy shit. Like,
I do too,
really
man.
Do. It's the creativeness that goes into like a lot of these. She was dating Robert Pattinson. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But-
she did. She had a lot of famous. I think she was dating. She had a pretty bad relationship with Shia LaBeouf that she was pretty public about when Shia LaBeouf was in his drugs and alcohol years.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
But anyways,
that's
this-
not what we're talking about now.
This album,
But yeah.
so this is kind of what I'm looking for in new albums, and I'll reference back to the Weeknd's album. It's just a great. I want, especially when it's an album. It's not just a loose. I hate when albums just play like a series of tracks that don't make any sense or have any order or theme to it, and I feel like this is an experience, much like the Weeknd's album was. Like you're getting taken on a ride. You almost want to just like close your eyes and experience it. And I feel like she just does a great job with the skits, the features. The only one that I actually don't like the song with the Weeknd on here that much. That's actually probably my least favorite.
It's
on here.
okay.
It's okay.
I like Tears in the Club. It's a
cool
good like
video.
it's a good like club like pop joint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like it for what it is, but I wouldn't go back to it and like on my headphones unless it's like in the context of the album.
Yeah.
Caprisongs, name of the album, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Daniel Caesar one a lot.
The Daniel Caesar one's great.
I think Ride the Dragon's probably my favorite overall. Still like the opening song.
I really like her on. So there's a couple tracks on here that have like a dance hall, like an Afro beat kind of feel to it, and I really like the song on here. Since me and E-Man both reviewed it, we can play a little tiny bit of a couple of them here. I'm gonna play
Atlantic.
I'll play that one first then. All right.
No, I mean Atlantic like records.
Oh. Yeah, just a couple seconds here on the intro. I really like this song that features Shy Girl called Poppy Bones. It's got like a real dance hall vibe to it. I definitely can see this being on my summer playlist for sure. So here's that. I like the intro. Don't give a fuck. The UK, man, they really got some artists right now.
Yeah, they do.
Like, this shit is so sweet. I don't want to play too much of it, though. Is there something you want to play off here?
No, we can.
All right, just keep it with the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this whole album. It's a pretty long album, but it's
definitely a lot of music and it's a lot to process. It's one of those ones like you can't really get it. You won't really fully enjoy it on one listen.
Yeah, that's why we tabled it.
Yeah, like kind of like how like the Weekends was with Dawn FM. Like you really can't listen to it in one listen, like one straight through and like get like fully write it off. And I'm really glad we started doing that, by the way, because I'm like, all right, I listened to it. I'm not coming back to this shit for a minute. And then if it doesn't catch me on the first run, I'm like, all right, I'll let it marinate and then come back. But yeah, I went through Caprisongs like about 4 times at this point.
Yeah, me too, man. And that's kind of how you have to do it. Like, and it's funny too with that Weekend shit. It's like fucking crack. It's like I'm loving it more and more every time I listen to it.
Every chance to listen to every time I listen to it, it gets better.
It really does. Even the song with Tyler, which was one of the songs I said I didn't like
sense.
at first, I like it more
now. It makes sense. 1, in the scheme of the album, and 2, because it fits what Tyler did with his album as well. So.
For sure. But yeah, so shout out to FKA Twigs. The album is really good. I'll kick it over to E-Man to pick the next one to talk about.
One I didn't get a chance to fully get through because it is long as shit, but I really enjoy him a lot. NLE Choppa.
I did not
put
hear
out
this.
Me Versus
Let's
Me.
pull this out.
I actually really enjoy this dude's music.
He's like 19 years old.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
young, man.
Crazy.
I remember I think Camelot was like his first big single that broke him out. But this got some music on it. Like, dude can rap his ass off.
He totally can.
He totally can rap his ass.
You know how we know that he's a really young rapper? Because Sean's like 10-year-old son, put us on to him.
Yep.
So shout out to Sean's son, little Sean.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Shot of Flow 6 was fucking hard. Like the intro to it, the Young Thug track, the G Herbo track. Moneybagg Yo made my top 10 of last year, so like I got a little bit of bias towards him these days. But
I read the most ridiculous article about NLE Chopper yesterday, bro. He does this shit. So he said he's trying to practice semen retention.
Yeah, you know who else did that shit?
Joey Badass.
Yes. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Put out the album.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I don't. I really don't. Like, I don't care
agree.
about what. Okay, so Sting been doing this shit for decades. So it's like, I get it.
Oh, it's too funny, man.
I don't care about your semen retention. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that makes me laugh. What should I play off this album, Me Versus Me?
Let's go. Wait, what label is this dude on? Warner. All right. Actually, let's go with the intro. Let's go Shot of Flow 6.
Shot of Flow 6 from NLE Chopper. God, the amount of ice these dudes wear is just ridiculous.
All 3 of us just made the fucking stank face. I watched it in real time. All 3 of us just made the stank.
This shit is hard. Oh my God, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah, the whole album is like that.
On the way home. That shit is hard. See, I want to make a comment. There is a way to do like that trap sound and do it well. Like that was dude. That was a good.
No, he puts his own spin on the drill rap.
Yeah,
and I like that.
That was.
Because I think it's fair to classify him as like a drill rapper.
Yeah, and
is that right? But
what I like about him is he's got clarity in his voice and
he enunciates really well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can hear everything he's saying. You can hear the story he's telling you. That's important to me. But moving on. The next one that we also decided to table from a couple weeks ago to now is the new Cordae album, From a Bird's Eye View, his sophomore release. Following up from, what was the last one called? I can't remember what is it. Oh, The Lost Boy. That was the first one.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I like that way better. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know about
to this day.
I really like this album. It's not so.
I like it. I like Lost Boy better than I like this one, but I do like this one.
I like Lost Boy a little bit better because he had a little bit more of an edge, like a hunger to him still, because he was still trying to get on. And now, I feel like he's a little bit ahead of himself. So it's obviously it's even in the title from a bird's eye view. He's looking down on you fools because he's better. He's above. He's up here while you guys are down here.
If I was fucking dating Naomi Osaka, I would too. Like the fuck?
Facts. You saw that she won. She like won some tournament that she was playing in, and she went up to the cameraman and she wrote